People who never get tired, what's your secret? Story 1. I'm a person who experiences great laziness and sometimes ridiculous amounts of energy. And I finally understood that, at least for me, it's all tied to level of interest. If something is fascinating to me, I have ridiculously few limits. If something is boring, I'm ridiculously unmotivated. Unfortunately, it seems about 80% of life is in the boring category. Story 2. I can't say I never get tired, but I do have more energy and get more done than most people. I would consider these things the key to that. I work remotely FT, and I have a job that pays decently and gives a lot of time off. This is a huge privilege. No soul-sucking commute. I can sleep on my preferred schedule, which allows me to sleep better, and I have time/money to deal with stuff and to outsource some things. I eat not perfectly, but pretty well, with a lot of whole foods and fresh fruits and vegetables. I am pretty active. I do have a bit of coffee in the morning and sometimes a caffeinated diet soda at lunch just to help my brain stay sharp, but I try to avoid caffeine after midday. My bedtime is pretty consistent, and I pretty much always get 7-8 hours of sleep. I do pace myself. My summer has been pretty busy, so I have purposely kept the schedule lighter the last couple of weekends. Finally, I think a lot of people who complain about being tired all the time are actually experiencing some level of anhedonia, and that a lot of people, not necessarily all, would benefit from pushing through some of their tiredness to be more active, devote some time to a more satisfying hobby than zoning out in front of a screen or being more social. Not every night or anything, but like a few hours a week. I find that I feel more tired when I am doing less. Story 3. Exercise at least 5 times a week. Going to bed at a reasonable hours every day. For me, that's usually between 22:30 to 23 o'clock, and sleep for 7-8 hours. Healthy diet with very little sugar. I don't drink coffee or tea with caffeine, and I have energy for the better part of the day. My batteries start to run out around 21 o'clock to 22 o'clock. Story 4. I think people who never get tired just have lots of practice functioning with less energy, so it seems like they are never tired. I'm always tired, but I can function at any level. That is to say, normal people have devised ways to seem alive, alert, and awake, but there are others. Those only spoken in Reddit threads and on fitness influencer Instagram, the uber enthusiastic, the overly cheery and chipper. Those people are not real and are actually robots sent back from the future to cause the human race to live in despair and eventually allow ourselves to lose in the robot uprising. Or they just drink a lot of water and get 8 hours of sleep every night. High-protein diet with exercise thrown in for good measure. I prefer the fly by the seat of my pants and just power through, but some would say those other people are doing it right. Story 5. For me, it's purely genetics. I eat unhealthy, don't work out much or at all, sleep 6 hours every night, wake up a lot during the nights, but I'm never sleepy or tired. I'm in pretty good shape. I drink a lot of water and zero alcohol/coffee/energy drink. But other than that, I have no advice for you except have my parents' DNA. Story 6. As someone who was once chronically tired, I can't emphasize enough how important diet is. Once I cut out processed food and made an effort to drink water, I suddenly had loads of energy. I'm 54, so I can only imagine how it would be if I were in my 20s or 30s. Story 7. The comments saying things like, "It's literally just being in shape, anyone saying otherwise is an idiot," are ironically the idiots themselves. I'm tired every day of my life because I have ADHD causing poor sleep. I was an absolute nightmare for my parents as a baby. Just exercise. Story 8. It's almost certainly a genetic thing. I've met people who can be high energy for intense amounts of time without assistance on very little sleep. I'd imagine healthy diets and exercise and proper medication have incredible positive effects, and that being your most active, healthy self is going to feel great and benefit you pretty much no matter what. That said, some people are just like that. The person I'm thinking of in particular had Williams syndrome and does not use any stimulants in treatment. He's just like that, and no one can health and lifestyle their way into that. Definitely follow the health-positive advice here, but also just be mindful of realistic comparisons. We're all different, and some people are just kind of naturally sleepy. Don't assume that without trying to improve your lifestyle first, but some people, even when healthy, remain very easily tired and need a lot of sleep. Story 9. Well, I can offer that they likely don't have fibromyalgia or related issues that can follow 6+ years of undiagnosed tick-borne infections. Ask me how I know. And I went cold turkey from 5+ mugs of coffee a day when the infections were first diagnosed, which is good because caffeine wrecks my muscles now, which adds to fatigue from dealing with the pain, actually. Story 10. Drink a lot of water, exercise, regular bedtime and wake-up time, eat better, and write down everything that comes up in your head before you go to sleep so you don't think of stuff for hours instead of sleeping. No screens before bed. Avoid caffeine. When you feel tired during the day, drink cold water and take a break outside if you can. Also, kids are exhausting. Avoid them at all costs. Story 11. Well, I had gotten Graves' disease and my body pumped out too much hormones and my body went autoimmune on itself. The doctors weren't or couldn't help me out. I slept about 2 HRSN that wasn't at one time in about 4 months. So go get hyperthyroidism and Graves' disease and get ready. Story 12. Sleep apnea is very common and increasingly so, especially in men. I've seen stats of 10 to 40% of the population having it. Look into it. Online resources will explain the symptoms. Sleep studies are easy enough to arrange. Lots of factors go into feeling rested, recovering from fatigue, but this is a commonly missed one. 95% of people with sleep apnea are undiagnosed. Story 13. Going to the gym has been the absolute best thing for my energy personally, although I've been out of it for a while and feel like shit now. Also, eating enough is important. Try not to skip meals. They don't need to be timely. You just need to make sure you eat at some point. There's nothing wrong with having a late lunch. You don't need to skip it just because it's 3 p.m. If you find time to eat, then eat. Additionally, I found the best thing for my energy levels in terms of eating is good snacking. I usually end up slumped between lunch and dinner unless I get to eat something small between then. Something high protein like cottage cheese or yogurt and then maybe a fruit is best generally. Maintaining eating habits is mainly how I maintain my energy when I'm not doing as much, but it's also very important when going to the gym, even if you're trying to lose weight. Losing weight isn't about not eating, it's about counting calories in and calories out. Not eating and then working out is only going to hurt you. For the record, I am not someone who never gets tired at all. Tiredness in the middle of the day is something I struggle with constantly. Caffeine doesn't help me personally, so I figured I'd share what does. Story 14. Obviously, sleep, exercise, a healthy diet, salt, sugar, consistent intake of water, spinach. But honestly, just doing things. If I had a great weekend, for example, lots of activities or just being mentally engaged somehow, then I'm just moving faster and I feel better and it sounds dumb but a little smarter. Okay, just my 2 cents. Story 15. A set bedtime every single day and start your day with water, not coffee, soda, or juice. Water for the win. It's rare for me to drag in the middle of the day or even yawn much. From about age 12 to 42, I was an insomniac. The hell that is a terrible sleep cycle was all too real. I fixed it with A, divorce, and B, setting a routine at night, but also not fixating on what time do I need to fall asleep. In the last 4 years, I've had maybe 2 episodes of insomnia, and they didn't last more than 2 nights. Story 16. My so asked me this. She naps regularly and still falls asleep at 2,130 HRs every night. I can stay up till past midnight, wake up around 5 or 6, work, come home and do it all again with no naps. I don't do caffeine. I hate the taste of coffee. I'm not in the best shape, but I have a job that keeps me moving. I think it's the ADHD, really. I have a lot of hobbies and things I like to do. A long to-do list of projects, whether they be fun or chores. I need to check off at least one thing from that list each day before I go to bed. Story 17. Sleep. Not just any old sleep, mind you. 9 hours of uninterrupted sleep on a good mattress with nothing to wake you but the softest alarm tone you can find on your phone. Nobody should be using the default tone unless you like torturing yourself. Story 18. I think it's genetic. There is nothing special about me. I sleep an average of 5 hours a night and pretty much always have, even as a kid. My Fitbit confirms this now too. I have much more stamina and energy than most people, despite the fact that I am very overweight. I drink a lot of water, take supplements, and eat a lot of veggies in my diet, but not sure if that has any bearing. Story 19. Everyone I've personally known who never gets tired is full of shit. One guy I know like that recently fell asleep in his chair during a break in the conversation. Some people just run themselves ragged for so many years on end that they genuinely don't remember any other state than exhaustion. They have no idea the kind of stupid shit they're running around doing, and saying that is painfully obvious to well-rested people. There are rarely genetically gifted people who can legitimately run on 4 hours of sleep a day their whole life. Examples include Nikola Tesla and Napoleon Bonaparte. You are not Tesla or Napoleon, so give yourself a break. Story 20. I have insane amounts of energy. Maybe it's my undiagnosed ad, but I rarely need caffeine. I also can only sleep for about 5 hours a night and still function normally. I honestly hate that I can't sleep for more than 7 hours. And no, my diet is terrible because I usually eat one filling meal a day. I don't exercise much other than just walking around at work or walking around a town while working. I will say this, I drink a ton of water every day. I feel like I'm always thirsty and can easily drink a liter of water in one gulp. If I'm driving long distances, I have my big water bottle that I usually refill every time I stop at a gas station and will probably buy a bottled water just in case. If I'm going out for a night out and getting drinks, I will easily down a liter of water before stepping out of my place. So maybe ad and water are the source of my energy? IDK. Story 21. I've been working out regularly and playing sports since before high school. I eat healthy about 85% of the time, and I take my sleep seriously. The biggest thing is mindset, though. Doing those things for so long has taught me discipline, so even if I do start feeling a little tired, it's really nothing and I just push past it fairly easily. Story 22, it's 100% genetics. When I drink a gallon of water daily, do daily cardio, eat cleanly, get 8 hours of sleep, avoid caffeine, and have a consistent sleep schedule, I am still exhausted from the moment I wake up until I get in bed again. The only way I go a day without feeling tired is if I sleep 10 hours and also take an afternoon nap. So basically, only Saturdays and Sundays I have energy. Meanwhile, other people can get 4 hours of sleep and be energetic the whole day. It's genetic. Story 23. Everyone gets tired. I'm in my 30s but work out daily and eat healthy. I have tons of energy but can't stand it when people in their late 20s act like they are fragile and can't bend down or go up a flight of stairs. Work out every day for the rest of your life. Story 24. Good diet and good sleep. I'm not in amazing shape or anything. In fact, I'm a bit overweight, 30 pounds, but I take care of myself in general and get enough sleep. That's the key right there, sleep. This is closely related to never gets bored. And I get asked about that a lot too. The answer to that one is that I have lots of hobbies, so I always have something to do. It's funny, these questions aren't big mysteries, but when they come up, people act like they are. Want to feel rested, sleep, want to feel interested, have hobbies you love. Story 25. I live a fitness lifestyle, good diet and supplements. I drink a ton of water. Shift worker, always tired. Was always tired when I had a normal work schedule. I'm convinced some people are just tired and some have energy. I don't know what it feels like to feel rested and refreshed. I envy those who do. Story 26. 8 years of constant, serious stress. Yeah, I have terrible insomnia too, but am literally never tired, day or night. No one can seem to figure out a solution. It's great never feeling tired during the day, but to get in bed every single night and not feel tired at all is not a good thing. Story 27. As a chronic insomniac, I've found the only way to actually live my life is to become manically obsessed with something to the point where my body will work right up until collapse. It feels awful and does a number on my body, but I spent most of my life horribly sleep deprived, and I got so tired of not being able to live my life. Edibles help a crap ton to alleviate the symptoms of sleep deprivation and actually let me function. Has the added bonus of knocking me out afterwards, so I'm managing, but yeah. Next time you see someone who never get tired, don't be too quick to be envious of them. Story 28. It's from combination of different sources and also my experience. First, list all the things you'll do tomorrow. Divide it from easy to difficult tasks. I also write in my notes why I start doing things even if it's tiring, like for my family parents. So every time I'm tired, I read those notes that I write. People get tired, even I get tired. From work, relationships, pressure in life, etc. You'll just have to ask yourself why you do it. Lastly, if you have to do something, do it immediately. Story 29. Workout. I try to do at least 30 minutes a day or being active in some way. Eat right. I do my best to stay away from pre-packaged meals. You don't have to cook completely from scratch, but anything you can do to improve your diet, the better. Lots of fruits and veggies are key. I also do meal prep and take fresh food into work instead of going out all the time. Sleep. I go to bed and wake up at the same time just about every day. I feel that really helps when it comes to not being tired much during the day. Limit caffeine. I don't drink coffee. I try to stay away from caffeine after 2 p.m. Avoid alcohol. I used to drink a few drinks a week, and on the days I drank, I never slept well. So I cut alcohol out of my life almost entirely. I think I had 1 drink in the last month. Removing alcohol out of my life really did help me sleep a lot better. Story 30. I wouldn't say I never get tired. However, the gist of it is I don't have time to be tired or sick, especially when I am in a social setting or attending an event. In the last 3-ish years, I started to take caffeine. I am in my 40s and still never drank coffee. Tea a little bit for a while. During late COVID times, I started taking 2-3 energy drinks per week. On average, I now take 3-4 per week. I can get by without, but I get that 2 p.m. down if I don't. When it comes to social events, usually gaming conventions, board game weekends, etc., I can go on 4 hours of sleep for multiple nights, and the other 20 hours I am good to rock. Contrast to some friends I have, they have to have 10+ hours of sleep. I get it. Everyone is different, and all this sleep cutting I do will shorten my lifespan in the end, I am sure of it. I'm just happy that I don't need that caffeine to get started in the morning. Most days I consume my energy drink from like 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. I stretch it out instead of banging back in a short period. Story 31. It's our brains. It's not that we don't get tired, it's our levels do not move like other people's who are on a time schedule of 8 hours, 10 hours type schedule. I've stayed up for 3 days with no drugs because my brain wouldn't shut off, and I've had days where I can't stay up for more than 6 hours. It's not our choice as much as we wish it was. It just don't work that way. There's no secret. Trust me when I say if there was, I would have the greatest sleep schedule known to man. Story 32. Don't drink, don't smoke, eat healthy, stay active, balance work and life, and stay fit. Downside is I have a hard time getting to sleep, but I wake up after tilde 7h and feel like $1 million. Never feel tired, never want a nap, etc. Frankly, when people tell me they're exhausted and then relate their terrible diet, sleep habits, and lifestyle, I kind of roll my eyes. Story 33. I still get tired, but I've noticed my diet has a huge impact on my energy levels. If I'm eating clean and drinking plenty of water, I not only sleep better, but I feel much more energized in general. Also regarding sleep, I feel like sleeping in regular intervals is almost just as important as the total amount of sleep you're getting. I find that if I stay up super late and then sleep in to still get my 8 hours, I'm still exhausted. Try to go to sleep and wake up at around the same time every day, even if you don't have to, and don't eat too close to your bedtime. Story 34. Being young. Good genes. Being physically active. Hell, just walking half an hour a day and losing a bit of weight will bring your energy way up. I lost 40 pounds and walk 4K a day, and now I never get tired. Yesterday I went on a 6K hike, got back, ate lunch, was bored, and went on another 3K hike. Still wasn't tired. Your body is really resilient when you're young and healthy. Story 35. As someone who is formerly and always tired turned not as tired, I've noticed what makes a difference is diet and sleep, obviously. Doing some shit as soon as your day starts to get your brain used to checking items off the list. Put the dishes away, make the bed, drink coffee. Doing hard shit right after. Do the number 1 and 2 pressing difficult things on your agenda right away. You'll feel so much better, trust me. Move a lot. Get up, go for a walk. I walk my dog twice a day. This forces me to walk. Get sunshine. Have someone hold you accountable. My wife and I hold each other accountable, and we get more done this way. You feel like you need to get things done when someone is depending on you. And generally speaking, subjecting yourself to doing more and more increases your tolerance threshold for how much stuff you can do in a day. Major life tasks that I used to procrastinate now feel much less like a burden/insurmountable mountain. Story 36. You will have maximum energy and stamina if you avoid junk food and drink. Get adequate sleep and work out with both cardiovascular and resistance training daily or near daily. You will also be able to do more for longer if you're engaged in activities you're interested in and like and respect your coworkers and boss. Having a life outside of work helps keep you balanced and better able to deal with challenges too. Story 37. I cut out refined sugar, soda, and fast food, and I started going on a 2-mile walk every day, as in 1 mile out and 1 mile back. I also do 10 squats every hour. It takes 20 seconds to do, and by the time I'm ready for bed, I've done 120, 150 squats for the day. I imagine it relates to the body in motion versus body at rest, saying, I've noticed I'm much less tired throughout the day, and my sleep has improved so much it's insane. People severely underestimate how awful refined sugar is for you and how far a little exercise goes. Story 38. Sleep, hydration, and nutrition, and activity whenever possible is what I try to focus on. The mind is stronger than the body, but I do what I can to help them both. Learning how to sleep and how to fuel your brain and body better is obviously beneficial. Try to get the best possible sleep when you are able to and make it a routine. Sleep on purpose. Eat on time. This doesn't have to be a big sudden thing. Small lifestyle changes add up. Start with holding yourself to a regular wind down and bedtime ritual every night. Story 39. Knowing it's probably my fault that I'm tired, so if I want to live my lifestyle, I gotta push through this. I smoke bud in the evenings to chill. It makes me incredibly tired the next day, but after God knows how many years, I can shrug it off. Up till 3, catching up on missed games, having a big blaze up. I'll still be up at 6:30 for my little ones, making breakfast and playing whatever they want, get them ready for nursery and school, then go to work. I'm also wired differently to most people. Once I'm awake, I start thinking about all the things I want to do, and sleeping means I miss out on time. Every now and again, I'll have a day where I sleep till midday, but it actually makes me feel worse. A functional stoner. Story 40. Your food intake, especially eliminating sugars and processed carbs. I used to need a nap after running 3 miles. Then I started insanity, a workout system I discovered through an infomercial. This is a well-known boot camp workout system for 60 days, which comes with a nutrition plan. I thought I would be more than exhausted after each morning session, but I was actually pumped to work and start my day. The secret was eating better, eliminating sugars, replacing processed carbs with whole wheat carbs, eating smaller portions more times a day, having balanced meals with right amount of protein, carbs, and good fats, etc. This was 12 years ago. It changed my life. I'm 52 now, and this morning I trained for almost 3 hours while fasting. I don't feel tired. Obviously, I'm trained, but also I keep eating healthy. Story 41. I've been accused of being that type. Of course, I do get tired. Everything takes energy to do. I set goals that are achievable so that I can have little wins throughout the day. Small successes are incredibly motivating. What makes it seem like I don't get tired is the motivation. Managing expectations and setting achievable goals helps you redefine successes to things you can rely on yourself to achieve, no matter how small. Part of what makes sticking to a morning routine so helpful is that you can reliably start the day with a string of successes that set your day up for a cascade of victories. Story 42. When I was a freshman in college, I left my end-of-semester projects until the end of the semester. I should have been doing them the whole time. I spent the week before finals not sleeping at all. I'd go to my classes, eat, take an Adderall, fucking grind until the campus coffee shop was about to close, go get a double espresso, continue to grind until 5, 6 a.m., go for a run, cold shower, breakfast, class, repeat. I went 6 days straight like that until everything was done. Then I slept for 36 hours. I got several A's on those projects, including an 18-page criminal justice research paper, but I've never felt less healthy and more strung out in my life.